Hello pals and gals, my name is GrannyAnn and you're watching GrannyAnn Creates. I hope you're all doing well today. In this video I wanted to go over some of my favorite things about pregnancy so far. So it's going to be kind of a mixture of things between like materials and just consumer items that I like to use, as well as my personal favorite things, just things that I enjoy about being pregnant. So let's go ahead and get into it. To start off, my favorite things about being pregnant and things that I've used during pregnancy, I would like to start off with my morning walks. I love my morning walks with my baby and Bear. It's one of my favorite things to do every single morning. First thing when we get up, we usually go on our walks around 8:30. And I just love it. I love being able to get out there and just be in the morning sun, hearing the birds sing. And I like to sing to the baby or talk to him during that time. So the song that I love to sing to him is Oh Mr. Sun, if you've heard of that song. It's just, oh Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. And that's the song that I sing to him every single morning, on the weekends and the weekdays. It's just something that I truly enjoy. I love to lift my shirt up a little bit so that he can get some of that sunlight. So that's one of the things that I love to do. It's so good. It's good for Bear too. So I like to try and take us on a longer walk. It's good for me, it's good for him, it's good for the baby. And it just gives me a time in the morning to really just adjust for the day, choose how I want to be for that day, how I'm going to go about my day. And it gives me time to talk to him and to just let him get recognition of my voice and to listen to that song, so when he's out and in the world I can sing that song to him, and hopefully it'll be a comfort song to him as well. It'll be easier for him to recognize my voice. Another thing that I love about being pregnant is feeling him move. It's really truly one of the best feelings ever. This is something that so many mothers will say to you, especially when it's your first pregnancy. That's probably one of the things that you'll hear the most, is how much they loved hearing or feeling their baby move, feeling their baby kick, punch, have hiccups, the whole 9 yards. And it's true, it really is. It's such a great feeling, especially when they're so awake that you can feel every single movement. And as they get stronger, those movements become so much more aggressive, not in a way that makes it hurt, but more you can feel their movements, you can feel what they're doing sometimes, and it's just amazing, you know. I love when he's so awake and I can feel how active he truly is and that he is doing well in there, and it's just a wonderful feeling to have. It's really interesting too, from a scientific side of it, to have that happen for myself. It's something that I've never been able to imagine, and it's awesome, you know. Like, can you believe that there is a being inside another being being created and just growing? They're alive in there. It's not like they're in hibernation this whole entire time. They're actually awake, they're moving, they have times that they're awake. And that's another great thing about it, is if you pay attention to this kind of stuff while you're pregnant, it can help you figure out and understand what kind of schedule they are on. So for me, our baby, he's kind of back and forth with his schedule. He's awake usually around 6 to 8 p.m. Depending on how he's feeling, he will be awake later than that. So sometimes throughout the night, in the nights that I have had a harder time sleeping, I have noticed that he will be awake around 10 to 12 or from 2 to 3 in the morning. But he's really more of a morning sleeper. He'll give me my little morning kicks when I first wake up for the day, but he doesn't really do much otherwise that throughout the day. So that might be due to me walking, so that's another reason why he might be asleep for so much. But he isn't a very big active kicker during the day. He's more of a mover, and then around 6 to 8 p.m. that's when he really gets his kicks in. So that's when he really starts moving, hiccuping, all of that kind of stuff. So for me, it's really nice to know when his schedule is and when he's awake most of the time. And who knows, that can be different. I'm not trying to jinx myself, because from that schedule, he's kind of backwards. He's more awake at night than he is in the morning and in the day. But it's just a great way to figure out some of that stuff. So on top of that, I just wanted to point out one of my favorite things about pregnancy was feeling him kick for the first time. it was really different for me when I first started feeling him move. I wasn't sure if it was him or if it was me. And it was just like this fluttering in my stomach. And that's what made me feel like if it was really him or if it was me just kind of gassy and my stomach was bubbling. But the first time that I ever felt him move, when I knew for sure that that was truly him, was one day when I was going to grab some flour out of our flour canister. I went and I bent over, and this was around, I want to say I was around 16 weeks when I first felt this very first movement. And he was literally like, I bent over, and it must have been in the way that I bent over, but I felt a flop. I felt this different movement that I had never felt before. And to me, that's when I knew that that was a real movement. That was a true movement, because it was something that I've never felt before. Something that I had never felt in just my regular self when before I was pregnant. So it was just a really amazing time to feel him for the very first time and know that that was really truly him kicking. And ever since then, it's been easier to decipher whether it's him or whether it's me. For me, the best way that I can explain it is it feels like when you're underwater or if you're in a pool and you try to throw a punch or you try to kick, that's how it feels on the inside. I don't know if that makes very much sense, but that's how it feels for me. It just feels watery. And on top of the baby moving, it's a great way for like for fathers, for people outside of the womb and who can't feel what you're feeling. It's a great time for them to be able to bond. And not just that, but one thing I'm jealous of is my partner is able to put his head up to my stomach and listen, and he can hear the movements, he can hear the hiccuping, and I'm so jealous of that. I wish that I was able to hear that, because I want to hear what it sounds like. Like, I have asked him, like, does it sound like underwater sounds? What does it sound like? And that's what he tells me. It sounds kind of underwaterish, and I just think that's really amazing. So out of all the things I'm jealous of, that's probably the biggest one, is I'm able to feel it, I'm able to touch it, I'm able to see it, but I can't hear it. The third thing that I love about being pregnant is learning new parenting skills and learning how I want to be as a parent. So in my household, being raised, we weren't disciplined in a way where it was physical discipline. My father, he never spanked us. My mother, she never spanked us. That's just not the way that we were raised. We were raised more of a, how do I say this? It was kind of like letting them be disappointed by us hurt us more than if they were to spank us. And that's the way that they raised us. I'm not exactly sure how that was, but it wasn't necessarily more of a form of talking through things and actually getting down to the problem and to the core of what we were feeling as the children. It was more of no, no, no. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, everybody has a different perspective on it. Not all of us know exactly how we want to be as parents, and when we grow up in the same cycles, we don't get taught the same, or different things, excuse me. So like, for my parents' background, my father, his dad and his mother, they were more physical. They were more physically disciplining. So like, they would spank them, they would get the belt, all that kind of crazy stuff. But we didn't get that. My dad knew that when he wanted to have kids, that he wasn't going to do that with his kids. And he will recall that he's only spanked us one time, and after doing that one time, it just made him feel so terrible to see us that upset that he couldn't do it again. So it really differs for each parent. For me, I don't want to go the same way that my parents went. I actually want to talk to my children, and I want to understand them, and I want them to understand me, as well as I want to have a strong bond with them and let them know that they can trust me and they can come to me. And truly, when I say I'm not going to get mad at them, I'm not going to get mad at them. I want them to be able to open up themselves to me and to talk to me before or when they want to make a decision, so that we can truly go through the intention behind it and what the consequences could be from that decision, not only from me as a parent, but for them, for themselves. So for me, that's really the way I want to go about it. I want them to have a degree of say in how they are disciplined. So rather than just, okay, you came home late, you're grounded for the next 3 days. It's more of, I want to be able to talk to them and tell them, hey, I was this worried about you, so how can we go about this? What do you think should happen because of this? What do you think your consequence should be? And that's really the way I want to parent. I want to be more of a talking parent. I don't want to use physical discipline just because that's something I'm not used to, and I don't see it really an effective way to make your children bond with you in a way that they will be able to open up to you and not hide things behind your back. It just doesn't make sense to me in that way. And that's not to judge other parents who do find physical discipline as a tactic to keep their children in line. That just isn't, for me, it just doesn't really feel the way that I would want to go with my parenting. So it differs, and I'm sure as they get older and as I get to know them more, and with my partner too, having that 50-50 parenting. So we'll see, we'll see how it goes, but that's the way I want to go with it. That's just the way that I've always wanted to be with it. And plus, when I was a preschool teacher, learning tactics through preschool teaching and having to discipline children that aren't yours, it really did help me understand how to discipline a child without having to belittle them, without having to be aggressive, and without having to break that bond, but doing something effectively and productively that will show them that the result of what they decided to do isn't always going to be fun. Yay, good job to you. It can be, you cannot do these things and you have to learn from that. So that's just my take on it. Now, to go into more of the material things, the material things that I've liked to use were, one is moisturizing. So I've had a little bit of a battle throughout this whole pregnancy trying to find something to moisturize my belly with, to moisturize just all of the places that are going to become tighter, that will become tighter from being pregnant and as my belly gets bigger. So I've tried a Lush bar from Lush Cosmetics. Didn't really like that. I felt like for the price of it and the amount that I received, it wasn't really worth it to me. It didn't really make me feel like, it made me feel moisturized, but it didn't really make me feel effectively moisturized where I felt like my skin was deeply moisturized. The itchiness that I was feeling in my body parts was soothed. It didn't make me feel like my stretch marks were moisturized in a sufficient way. So I didn't really like that one. I've tried CBD lotions. That one's probably been the best one for me, is using CBD creams, and it's back and forth. I've tried one that I really truly love. It's a heating and cooling one that I didn't really use on my whole body, but in the nights that I was restless and I really couldn't fall asleep, I would just rub a little bit of that on the bottom of my feet and I was passed out within minutes. So I highly recommend CBD creams for those who have a little bit of a harder time falling asleep, if you have restless leg syndrome, or if you just can't fall asleep. That really helped me. So but I've tried CBD lotions on my body and as a topical, and I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really feel like the moisturizer itself was actually moisturizing me. I felt softer, but I didn't like the stickiness that was left behind, and that's really a big thing for me. It's really hard for me to moisturize myself from childhood to teenage years and to now. I just don't like having things on my body. It bothers me. I don't like that weight of another. I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you put makeup on your face and your face feels really caked up, or if you put some kind of cream on your face and it just feels really heavy on your face. I don't like that on my body as well. So it's been hard for me to find something that feels light, that I feel like actually moisturizes into my skin, and when I put on my clothes, it doesn't just stick to my clothes and all of the moisturization that I just did gets taken off. So it's just a little crazy thinking for me, but the one thing that I have loved and that I have found is actually something that I've made myself. So I can't give you a clear recipe on it. It's different for every person and every person is different. So I will give you the ingredients that I used in this cream that I made for myself. It is cocoa butter, coconut oil, neem oil, jojoba oil. You're okay. It's okay. Excuse me. And olive oil. I believe that is all of the ingredients that I put into this cream that I made. I can go ahead and leave that recipe down in the description box just so that you have an idea of what I used. I won't give you a direct recipe because for the neem oil and the jojoba oil and the olive oil, I didn't really use measuring cups. The ones that I have, they're in little tincture bottles, so it was really just my guesstimate of what I wanted to put in there, but I've loved it so far. I love how easy it is to melt into my hands. I love the oily feel of it, and rubbing it onto my body, it just feels like if I rub it in good, I'm actually moisturizing my body. I noticed that with my stretch marks. I do have stretch marks, obviously, because this is just my genetic makeup, but they aren't as dark as they were when I wasn't using that. It wasn't, I was getting new ones, but those new ones have faded since I started using my own makeup of what I like to use. So since using that cream, divine, love it, I really do, and I truly recommend it. If you want to try it, go ahead and look in the description box and use it at your own risk. I'm not any kind of a cosmetology person. I don't know very much about all of that kind of stuff, so like I said, please use it at your own risk. If you do decide to try and make it yourself, make sure that you're using organic ingredients, make sure that you're using cold pressed nice things that are good and truly beneficial for your body. The last thing I would want for anybody is for them to make this whole batch of something and then it leaves them in rashes, it leaves them with hives, and that's another thing. Make sure that when you do use it, you try it on just a small portion of your body and see how your body is affected by that, and go from there. So that's at your own use. Another thing I will say about that is because it's with the cocoa butter or cacao butter, excuse me, I used whole unrefined blocks of it, so it's very, very chocolatey smelling. I didn't use any essential oils because I don't have any at the time, and I'm still figuring out how to get that smell out. It's very, very chocolatey, so if you don't like the smell of chocolate, or to me, I like it because it's kind of like a chocolate chip cookie, so I feel like I smell like a chocolate chip cookie. But if you're not into that smell, I would recommend looking into some nice organic, ethical brands of essential oils and going from there and seeing if you can find any that resonate with you, things that you like lavender, eucalyptus, if you like orange scent, vanilla scent, whatever it is. Not all essential oils are the same, you know, if they're not something that is made, it's hard to explain. Like I said, I'm not really into that like that, but if you're using those oils, just be certain that they're not cut with anything, that they're not diluted with any other things that aren't beneficial for you. So just be careful with what you're buying, and for yourself and for baby. And lastly on this topic is I love the fact that all of these oils are okay for consumption. So it's one thing that I do need to run by my midwife and ask her, but if I need to use them on my nipples in the future, I'm pretty sure a baby can use it, or a baby can ingest it and he won't be affected by it in any way. It's all organic, it's all natural, and it's not anything that isn't consumptual. You know what I mean. But yeah, so go ahead and try that if you like it. I really hope it works for you. It's worked great for me, and cocoa butter is just something in general that is really good for us. It's filled with vitamin E, and it has a lot of properties in there that just truly help replenish our skin and can help with like our face, with our skin, with our body. So I hope it works for you. Next things next is I love having a comforter on my bed. We have a nice thick foam comforter. I want to say it's about 1.5 to 2 inches, and this thing has been a luxury for me this entire pregnancy. I am 7 months into my pregnancy, coming up on 8 here pretty soon, and I have not had to buy a body pillow. I haven't had to buy a pregnancy pillow for myself. The times that I've used any kind of pillow, like just a regular pillow that I have for our bed, I have only had to use it in between my legs and in the very beginning just to support my new belly because I wasn't used to that weight. but that was very minuscule. I only used it for a couple days here and there, and then now that I'm starting to get bigger, it really does help me realign my hips as I sleep. So if I'm having round ligament pain, I notice putting a pillow in between my legs really does help adjust that my hips back to normal, so that one ligament isn't stretching more than the other. And when I turn on my side and turn to the other side, it helps so much. But having the comforter, I truly, truly, truly think has helped me be able to sleep comfortably through the night. I've only had a few nights here and there where I'm restless sleeping, where I'll wake up every few hours, where I'm really hot when I wake up, where my legs are bothering me, where I just can't fall asleep. And on those nights, baby happens to be awake with me too. So, but yeah, so like I just think that it's really a great thing to have. I've actually heard another woman in one of her videos talk about this, and she has a comforter for her bed, and she just says that it really felt like she was able to have her body molded to the bed rather than having to put all these things around her to mold onto. And I totally agree with that. I think that having a comforter has truly helped me be able to sleep comfortably at night. I don't think that once again, it might just be my body, you know, like everybody's body makeup is different. Our pain tolerance is a lot different. So for one person that might be good, and for another person that might not be enough. They still might need a body pillow. But if you don't have a comforter for your bed, foam, and if you don't really want to try and get all those pillows, if you don't want to have all of that mess all around your bed, if you don't have a bed big enough for that, for you and your partner to be able to have multiple pillows and your partner can still sleep comfortably, I recommend maybe getting yourself a foam comforter. It's helped me so much. I've come this far into pregnancy, and I really truly think that I will be able to get through the rest of my pregnancy without needing a body pillow. And I'm so thankful for that. Truly so thankful for that. It's something that I was very worried about, something that it was kind of like, should I buy this? Like when I was 2-3 months pregnant, I was thinking to myself, should I just get this now? You know, like I don't know my body. I don't know how it's going to do, because this is my first pregnancy, and I don't want to wait until I need one and then I'm having a really hard time sleeping and I'm waiting a couple weeks for it to come in the mail, or for me to find one that I really like. So it's up to you as a person. I don't think that it's something that we need to buy right away. I think it really depends on how you want to go about it. But comforter, a-okay for me. It's helped me so much, and I really think that that's what's helped me fall asleep at night. And last but not least, definitely not least, is my Igloo. If you can see this, I love this water bottle to death. It has been such a game changer for me. If you are anything like me, you have a very hard time remembering your hydration. So especially during pregnancy, it's something that we really should be concerned about. We should always stay hydrated in general, but in pregnancy definitely. So I bring this one up because for me, I really had a problem with keeping up on my hydration. I really had a problem with knowing how much I was drinking throughout the days. This one right here is a half-gallon water bottle. So all I have to do is throw 2 to 3 water bottles in there, and I know how much I'm drinking throughout the day. I know how much I need throughout the day, where I'm aiming to go. And before that, I was just drinking water bottle by water bottle, not really sure exactly how much I was actually drinking in each time that I was drinking it. So I could probably drink like 2.5, 3.5 water bottles and not know, because I couldn't remember how many water bottles I actually drank, or if I saw a water bottle here and a water bottle there that I didn't finish from the night before, I would drink that half water bottle plus this half water bottle, and then I didn't know exactly how much I was actually drinking. So I just think that it's really good. It doesn't have to be an Igloo water bottle. It can just be any kind of water bottle, but one that you know the exact measurement of. So if you know that it's a half gallon, if you know it's a full gallon, because they sell those really nice gigantic water bottles that have the times that tell you when you should be drinking and how much you should have by that time of the day. Even if it's just, you know, like your regular 16-ounce water bottle, something that you're able to know the measurements of, and it makes it easier for you. I do recommend having one that's just a little bit bigger so that you can have an easier remembrance of how much water you're drinking. So I just think that's really great to have. With that being said, it makes it so much better if you like cold water. Oh my goodness, through this pregnancy, after we started drinking more cold water, like putting our water in the refrigerator and then having our ice maker on all the time so we're able to throw ice into our water, oh, it's so good. It tastes so much better if you're a water drinker like I am. I drink really nothing else but water. I do have the occasional, like I'll have juice here and there, I'll have milk, I'll have little things like that. I'm not a soda drinker very much. I like tea, I like coffee, but water is really my go-to if I eat something, or if I'm, yeah, pretty much if I'm eating something. Even when I'm drinking something, I need water to to wash it down. So if you're like that and you know your taste in water, you love water that much like I do, having a bigger water bottle helps so much more than trying to just drink water throughout the day and hoping that you got the amount that you need for your body and for baby. But yeah, having a bigger one helps so much. Being able to have something like this that's insulated, it keeps my water cold longer. So like if I fill this up right before I go to bed at night, it'll still be nice and cold throughout the night when I wake up. It'll be nice and cold in the morning when I first get up, and when I'm back from my walk, when I'm having breakfast, and makes my life so much easier. So I truly recommend having a bigger water bottle. It can be a hassle sometimes when you're on the go if you don't want to carry a big water bottle. That's why I recommend at least having a 16 ounce to 20 ounce water bottle, just so that you can have a clear picture of where you are with your consumption in water. And yeah, the other thing that I love about this water bottle is it has hooks on it. So I'm able to hook this on different places. Like I can hook it on the back of a chair. I can hook it before we leave. We have a bar in our doorway for pull-ups and stuff in the kitchen. And yeah, so like when I'm getting Bear ready for his walk, I can just hang it up really quick and then go put his leash on, turn around, and remember to bring my water bottle with me. It has a nice handle, so I'm able to take it with me on the go, carry it very easily, and it just helps. It really truly does help. I really appreciate this water bottle, and it was my partner's in the beginning, but from the second I took a drink of it, he knew that it was going to become mine. So it's just really up to you, but I do recommend having a water bottle. It just helps out, and it just makes your life a little bit easier, so you're not worried that you're not getting enough hydration, especially during the hot days like we're in summer right now. So it's harder to make sure that you're staying hydrated if you're out on the go and you don't have water bottles on you, or if you're not into drinking like room temperature water or just any kind of water that's not cold. Those things help. So I think that's something that we should all have. Well, it looks like that really is it for my small list of things that I love about being pregnant and the things I like to use during this pregnancy. Obviously there are other things here and there, but these are the ones that are the most prominent to me, things that I use daily, things that I truly believe in and like to do and just enjoy about being pregnant. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some little tips from it if you're new to pregnancy, or if you're now a pregnant mama and you're getting ready to have your child and you don't know where to start, or just how to go about your stuff like I hope it helped you in some kind of way. Please subscribe if you aren't subscribed already, or consider it at least. You can find me on Instagram at GrannyAnn Creates, and like this video. I hope you guys all have a great day. I hope it's beautiful for you and you're staying safe out there. So until next time, friends.